Now let's learn how to perform operations with scientific notation. Performing operations with scientific notation involves adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing the coefficients of numbers written in scientific notation. These operations follow the same rules as regular numbers, but with the added step of adjusting the exponents in scientific notation. So just to review, the number in front, or the a, is the coefficient, which in this case is 5.7, times 10, which is the base, to the nth power, which is the exponent. First, let's talk about adding and subtracting with the same exponent. If both numbers have the same exponent, add or subtract the coefficients while keeping the exponent the same. For example, here we have 7 times 10 to the 4th power plus 5 times 10 to the 4th power. Since both numbers have the same exponent of 4, you can simply add the coefficients, which are 7 and 5. So that gives you 7 plus 5 times 10 to the 4th power. And 7 plus 5 is 12 times 10 to the 4th power. But here, 12 is greater than 10, so you need to convert it to a number that's greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. So you need to move the decimal one place to the left. So that becomes 1.2. And since you move the decimal point to the left, which means you decrease the number by a factor of 10, you need to increase the exponent by 1, so the value remains unchanged. So the 4 becomes 5. So the final answer is 1.2 times 10 to the 5th power. Next you have 9 times 10 cubed minus 2 times 10 cubed. In this case, both numbers have the same exponent of 3. So now you need to subtract the coefficients, which gives you 9 minus 2 times 10 cubed. And 9 minus 2 is 7 times 10 cubed. And since 7 is greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10, you can leave the coefficient the way it is. So the final answer is 7 times 10 cubed. Now follow along as I solve these problems. Here I have 2.5 times 10 to the 8th power plus 1.7 times 10 to the 8th power. Since both numbers have the same exponent of 8, I can go ahead and add the coefficients, which are 2.5 and 1.7. And 2.5 plus 1.7 times 10 to the 8th power gives me 4.2 times 10 to the 8th power. And 4.2 is greater than or equal to 1 but less than 10. So my final answer is 4.2 times 10 to the 8th power. Next I have 6.2 times 10 to the 5th power minus 5.8 times 10 to the 5th power. Since both numbers have the same exponent of 5, I can go ahead and subtract the coefficients, which are 6.2 and 5.8. And that gives me 6.2 minus 5.8 times 10 to the 5th power. And subtracting the coefficients gives me 0.4 times 10 to the 5th power. But here, the coefficient of 4/10 is less than 1, so I need to move the decimal one place to the right, which means I'll have a new coefficient of 4 times, and since I moved the decimal point to the right, which increased the value by a factor of 10, I need to decrease the coefficient by 1, so the value of the number remains unchanged. So that gives me 10 to the 4th power. So my final answer is 4 times 10 to the 4th power. Now it's your turn to practice. Pause the video and solve the problems. And when you found your answers, click play. Here you have 9.6 times 10 squared plus 2.8 times 10 squared. In this case, both numbers have the same exponent of 2, which means you can go ahead and add the coefficients, which gives you 9.6 plus 2.8 times 10 squared. And 9.6 plus 2.8 equals 12.4 times 10 squared. But here the coefficient is greater than 10, so you need to move the decimal point one place to the left. So the new coefficient becomes 1.24. And since you move the decimal point to the left, you decrease the value by a factor of 10. So to make sure the value stays unchanged, you need to increase the value of the exponent by 1. So that becomes 10 cubed. So the final answer is 1.24 times 10 cubed. Next you have 4.5 times 10 to the 6th power minus 1.3 times 10 to the 6th power. In this case, both numbers have the same exponent of 6. So go ahead and subtract the coefficients, which gives you 4.5 minus 1.3 times 10 to the 6th power. And 4.5 minus 1.3 equals 3.2 times 10 to the 6th power. And since 3.2 is greater than or equal to 1, but less than 10, this is your final answer. Hey, it's Nicholas, creator of Mathemy, and if you like this video and want to take your math skills to the next level, check out my online course, Pre-Algebra Made Easy. Whether you're preparing for algebra, geometry, or a standardized test like the GED, ASVAB, or GRE, this course is for you. Dive into interactive videos where you'll shadow me through problems, then take the reins to practice solo. Worried about making mistakes? Don't be. I'll walk you through each solution, making sure you understand every step. But it doesn't stop there. Quizzes, practice activities, and detailed answer keys will solidify your understanding. Cap it off with section tests and an end-of-course exam to showcase your new skills. Mastering pre-algebra is the key to future success in math and beyond. Click on the link in the description below to enroll now and start your journey to math mastery. I'll see you there.